TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. What is going on? We going live with Will Roundtree after dark. There's been a lot going on in the world of business, and a lot of people been asking me to go live, more frequently. I actually just wrapped up an event, and I'm extremely motivated to come on here and talk to you guys tonight. So whether it's 5 people or 50, I want to be able to come on here and drop some information, drop some knowledge, and give some people some inspiration and motivation for today. Absolutely, you can ask questions. Can I ask questions? Since Yeah, go ahead and definitely ask your question. So I'm looking at 3 different screens. I got Instagram, I got TikTok, and I got YouTube up. So we'll go ahead and get started. But today we're talking about. I'm seeing a lot of videos online, people telling people that credit is income. Or they say things like, let me show you how to get the bag. Credit is not income. I really want people to understand that. Credit is not income, ladies and gentlemen. And I say that because I meet so many people who go and get a bunch of credit and they're jammed up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that here today. Please make sure if you have any questions, I'm answering all questions here today. So feel free to ask whatever questions you may have. I'm 15. I'm from Vegas, really trying to lock in with this credit game. Can you please mentor me or get a call in with me to discuss my situation? Send me a direct message. If you're 15, I'll definitely help you. If you're 15 years old, I'll definitely help you. So before I give you guys 5 steps of how to guarantee yourself to get $250,000. That's right. Today I'm going to give you 5 steps to guarantee. I'm not talking about gas cards. I'm not talking about net 30 cards. I'm not talking about Staples, Home Depot. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about cash value business credit cards that you can actually liquidate. Okay, we're going to talk about that here today. But before we get into that, what's the best move for me with a 710 credit score without history? What kind of primary trade lines to add history? Great question. So if you have a 710 and you're trying to get business credit, you have to add business credit trade lines. See, here's the thing I want to share with you all. I want you to imagine you were a bank and someone is coming to you to borrow 100 grand for their real estate project or their business, and they have no credit history on their business because they're applying for business credit. Would you give them $100,000? Would you give them $50,000? So I tell people you have to add business credit trade lines, not net 30s. You can actually get primary business credit trade lines, and there's very few people that offer those. We're one of the very few. If you've been in the game at least 10 years, you probably know how to build out the business side without net 30s. There is a way to expedite your business credit building process without using net 30s. So don't waste your money on net 30s, okay? What do you think about C corporation operations in 2025? I tell people that you set up the entity structure should be set based upon how you want to be taxed. So get with a tax professional. All right. So here's what I want to share with you today. And then I'm gonna get to 5 ways to guarantee you get 250,000 in funding. All right. So I was speaking with a friend the other day, and they were sharing with me their goals. And I always ask people, what is your end goal? Because every time a client comes over to me and they want to get funding, I always say, what is your end goal? And they say, Will, I want to get to $1 million in business revenue. I want to get to $1 million in say whatever the case is. Like a million is always like the peak. And I said, okay, how long do you think it will take you to save $1 million? Because here's the thing nobody will tell you. The only way, especially in 2025, that you're going to get to your goal is you have to spend money. And so I asked him, I said, how long do you think it would take to save $1 million? And he said, I don't know. I said, let's just do some basic math. See, I think if we start to learn that everything is based around math, and I flunked algebra, but I understand basic math, which is why I've had the success that I've had for the past 10 years, because I've simplified my strategy using math. So I said, take out your calculator, and I want you all to do this too. If you saved $100 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? Does anyone know the answer to that? If so, drop it in the chat. If you were to save $100 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million saved up? If you saved $100 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? It would actually take you 833 years. 833 years. The average lifespan is like 60, 75 max. So the average person saving $100 a month, it would take them 833 years. Now, if you were saving $1,000 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? If you were saving $1,000 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? And I'm saying $1 million of to be able to go out and invest, not to have to spend, to splurge. If you were saving $1,000 a month, how long would it take you to have access to $1 million? I'll tell you, it would take you 83 years. 83 years to have $1 million. And if you're just joining me, I'm looking at 3 screens. Okay. Now, if you were saving $10,000 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? If you were saving $10,000 a month, how long would it take you to have $1 million? It would take you 8.3 years. 8.3. But most people don't have access to $10,000 out discretionary income. I'm not talking about how much you make, because here's where so many people make the mistake. They think about how much they make. You can't save what you make because that goes to your living expenses. So it would take you 8.3 years at $10,000 a month. So whatever dollar amount you're looking to save, think about how much you could actually save and multiply how long it would take you. And for most people, it would take them a lifetime even to save $100,000. Now, here's my question to you all. Here's my question to you all. Why would you want to take a lifetime to complete a goal? Why would you want to take a lifetime to accomplish something that is inevitable, that it will never happen, when there are different alternatives that you could position yourself to almost guarantee of accomplishing it. So when I thought about that, I told him, I said, well, you have a problem. You have a problem on your hands. And I said, do me a favor. With the thin credit profile, what's a realistic time frame to be able to access 250 in business funding? Swift, Sloan, you can do that in less than 6 months by listening to what I'm gonna share here today. You can do that in less than 6 months. Okay. So I said, you have a problem. I said, take your phone out. Somebody's saying cap. Only poor people think like that. Only poor people think like that. So I said, here's your problem. Take your phone out and read the definition of the word problem to me. Let me tell you all what the definition of the word problem. The definition of the word problem is a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. The definition of the word problem is a matter or situation regarding an as unwelcomed or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. See, most people have problems financially, but they never address the problem. It reminds me of a fisherman who's in the middle of an ocean and there's a hole in the boat. And instead of fixing the problem, he will scoop the water out the boat. This is how so many people live their lives. They're scooping the water out the boat as opposed to addressing the problem. Well, how do we address the problem? That's what I'm going to do here today. I'm going to address the problem as to why some of you are having a hard time accomplishing your financial goals. Money is not your problem. It's strategy. Money is not your problem. It's strategy. Femininely Queening, thank you for being new here today. Please make sure you subscribe. I'm going to prove to you that money is not the problem. Money is not the problem because banks are giving money away. This is one of my credit card books. I keep my other one in a safe, in my safety deposit box. This is over 7 figures of credit. I have access to over 7 figures of credit cards, lines of credit, etc., that allows me to go out there and purchase real estate deals. So money is not the problem. Your problem is you don't have the right strategy because you're looking at credit as income. Credit is not income. Credit is the tool to help you to build and go out there and make income. And so I'm going to give you 5 strategies to guarantee that you can get minimum 100,000. And I'm not talking about the whack cards like Wex and Capital on Tap. Most of y'all, those cards here, most of those cards are worthless for a new investor, a new entrepreneur, because you don't have enough money to debt service them. So don't get caught up in the number. I want everybody to type in the chat, cheap money. When you go online and start listening to these gurus, they're just selling you on trying to get credit and pushing down your throat as if it's income. Credit is not income. We use credit to make money. Credit is not income. Credit is the tool to make you money. And if you follow everything that I teach, you will never be poor again. Ever. This is the secret that nobody is telling y'all. The secret is not getting a bunch of credit. The secret is knowing how to get the credit to make you money, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go over 5 strategies. But before we go into that, I really need everybody to understand the reason so many people fail in business. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ernest. Hold on, let me turn my glasses off. I heard it in my glasses, so I had to turn them off. The reason so many people fail in business is because they don't understand the cost of money. They're trying to save money to invest into their business. No, you leverage the bank money because that's your cheapest money. Let me give you another example. Let me give you another example. Because I bring facts. Okay. Let me give you another example. How much does it cost you every time you go on your job? Let me get my props. Every time you go on your job, how much does it cost you to make $100 on your job? Does anybody know? How much does it cost you to make $100 on your job? Anybody? Whoever gets this right, not time. I'm looking for a specific response. Whoever gets this right, I'll cash app you $25. Who can tell me what it costs, not in time? What does it cost the average W-2 employee? It depends on how much you get paid. No, I'm looking for something very specific. This is why we have to understand economics. I'm not looking for how much time it costs you. How much time, or excuse me, what does it cost you for every dollar you make? What percentage? Let me put it that way. What somebody said, my mind and body. I don't even want to know what that's supposed to be. What percentage does it cost you to make a dollar or $100 when you get a paycheck? What's up, Angie? Not time. Not time. I'll tell you. Let me see. Who was the closest? Steve. Steve Music, something like that. You were the closest. Send me your Cash App, Steve, on Instagram. I'm gonna send you $25 on Cash App. Oh no, Adrian King got it right. Adrian, send me your Cash App. I'm going to send you $25. It costs you 30%. For every dollar you make, it costs 30% of that dollar. Think about that. For every dollar you make, it's going to cost you 30%. And why is that? Because you have to pay taxes on every single dollar you make. So if you work a job, for every $100, you only make 70, not including your other deductions. Unfortunately, most people don't understand the tax game. This is why people struggle. This is why people struggle right here. Because they don't understand fundamentally, it will always be hard to get ahead because for every dollar you work for, it costs, you're paying 30%. For every dollar you work for, it costs you 30 cents before it even lands in your pocket. I really want you to think about that. So how can you get ahead? So going back to my original talking point, if you were to save $100 a month, To have $1 million, they say it will take you 833 years. Well, technically, it really is longer than that because a dollar is not worth a dollar because you still pay 30%. Versus, let me get my props. Versus, if I were to go out and get a line of credit for $100,000, I pay zero taxes. And I can do this in 7 days. I can do this in 7 days, ladies and gentlemen, versus it's costing you. Drop y'all questions in the chat. Somebody said, but there's interest. It's only interest when it costs you money. See, here's the thing that most people don't know how interest works. When you see 22%, you have to divide that by 12. When you divide 22% by 12, that's 1.83%. 1.83% times $10,000. Somebody calculate that for me. Somebody calculate. Let me get my other computer up. See, we don't even understand how interest works. See, interest only affects you when you pay it. So 1.83% on $10,000 is $108. So my payment on $10,000 is $108 a month. This is why so many people are broke. So when we talk about what people's problem are, when it comes to understanding money, okay, Alonzo said 183. Thank you for correcting that, Alonzo. So when we talk about when I talk about problems, and let me read the definition of the word problem again. Problem is a matter or situation regarded as unwelcomed or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. Most people have money problems because they do not understand the cost of money. People are already complaining about the interest on credit cards, but they don't even know how the interest on credit cards work. Secondly, the reason interest, the reason you're focused on the interest payment is because you're focused on paying it back. Because you are using this card for consumer purchases. You use the card to go buy assets. This is what I use my credit for. I use my over $2 million in credit to buy real estate. Alonzo, this is just a prop. I have a bunch of cards. This is just a prop. And so we have to understand the cost of money. Anytime I sit down with a client, I can tell them what their number one issue is. Once I have a strategy session with them, they don't understand the cost of money. So you just focus on making minimum payments? No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is you have to learn how to make money make you money. It looked like you're charging for the sauce. So did college. And I actually don't charge for the sauce. If you pay attention, I go over that. I talk about it in all my lives. Yo, y'all are funny, yo. I know some of y'all are sleepy. I live in Vegas, so it's only 11:55 here. This is people's problem right here. Something in my nose. Somebody said wipe my nose. Hey, Will, where are you from? I'm from Milwaukee. I am from Milwaukee, but I live in Las Vegas. And so understand Most people don't understand how money works. Most people don't know the cost of money. Most people don't buy investments. Let me give you some stats on some investment. And then I'm gonna give y'all five tips to guarantee you get 100 to get 100 to 250,000 in funding. Okay. Most people just know how to waste money. Absolutely. I just upgraded to the platinum from the Amex Gold. Okay. So check this out. Check this out. And I talked about this yesterday. Did y'all know only 7% of Americans own investment properties? Only 7%. Let me say that again. Only 7%. 10.6 million people in America own investment properties. Not the home you live in. The home in an investment property that actually makes you money. Now, why am I sharing that statistic? I'm sharing that statistic, and this isn't Will Roundtree stat. This is per the IRS. Because when you own investments, you file taxes, you file a Schedule C, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's why that's important to know. That's important to know because most people are operating businesses where they will never ever get to retire. Why? Because they don't have a system put in place that will position them to be able to retire financially, because they always have to implement to make their money. See, we have to understand it's not about money itself. What I'm teaching you all is about economics. I'm not teaching y'all, anybody who follows me, I've never talked about trying to make you a millionaire, because statistically, most people will never become a millionaire. Most of you just need to stabilize your lives, because once you learn how to stabilize your life financially, you will make more money. You just, first of all, need to become stable. And this is why I love real estate, because all of y'all have to live somewhere. Everybody. Everybody. See, I'm not trying to teach you how to be a millionaire, but I'm trying to teach you how to bring in an additional $3,000 a month. I'm trying to show you how to bring in an extra $5,000 a month. I'm trying to show you how to bring in an extra 7,000. I'm trying to show you how to bring in an extra $8,300 a month, which is $100,000 in revenue through real estate. So imagine whatever you make on your job, and I show you how to bring in an extra $3,000. That's $36,000 without you doing anything. And now you have $1 million real estate portfolio. Wouldn't you like to be in that position? Because statistically, 57% of adult Americans are behind on retirement and savings. If I were to take a poll right now, most of you will never be able to retire. Because all we have to do is look at the metrics. A 401k, the most you can max out in your 401k is $242,000. That's if you're maxing it out. But the median is 88,000. So imagine working for 40 years and you have $88,000 saved up. That it'll be gone in 2 years. Imagine being 67 years old and now you have to go and work for a 16-year-old who's the manager at an establishment. And now somebody who's your grandkid's age is telling you to take out the trash and mop the bathroom. All because you didn't plan for retirement properly. See, we have to start understanding economics. I'm all for investing in stocks and IRAs and all of that, but we have to start building cash flow, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody type in the chat cash flow. Everybody type in the chat the word cash flow. We have to start thinking differently. We have to stop having a poverty thought process. We have to stop thinking in cents and start thinking in dollars. We have to start understanding the cost of money. We have to start understanding the power of credit. We have to start understanding these things, because here's the thing. Here's the reality. Most people will always operate at a deficit because they're doing the wrong strategies in life with their money. Saving money will always keep you poor. Why? Because for every dollar you save, again, understanding the cost of money, for every dollar you save in a bank, the bank only pays you interest on 10% of that. Guess what they do with the other 90%? They loan it to somebody like me, who's an investor. See, when a bank gives you a line of credit, that's your money. When the bank gives me a line of credit, I'm essentially using you all money to go out there to make money, and then the bank gives you 0.008% interest on 10% of whatever you have saved. As opposed to flipping that and you going to the bank, borrowing it at either 0% interest for 18 months or borrowing it at 1.83% per month and going out and buying things that will pay you forever. Why wouldn't you want to learn how to do that? See, it's not the mentor the reason your entrepreneurship strategy didn't work. It's not the guru, because here's the reality. A lot of people won't tell you this. Most of the people y'all are trying to learn from are making money in other areas. Most of the people you're trying to make money from are teaching you strategies and systems that work for them at their level. I'm trying to teach you how to make money at your level. And the way you make money at your level is not ebooks, is not being a content creator, because all of those things will make you money. But as soon as you stop making content, you don't make any money. As soon as your ebook gets saturated, because remember, they've sold that ebook to 50,000 people, and now that ebook is saturated. So now you got to come up with the new game. But everybody has to buy real estate. Everybody got to live somewhere. How should you invest $20,000 right now? Invest 20,000. First of all, use some of it to learn how to protect the 20,000, and then the rest you go invest into something that's going to make you money. Not starting a business, because most business. Here's my question, and I'm gonna get to the 5 things to guarantee that you get 100,000 to 250,000 in fun. Here's the thing that anytime I sit down with somebody and I say, why do you want to become a business owner? For time freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, being a business owner does not give you time freedom. You will never have time freedom. You have to buy your time by leveraging money or leveraging credit. Matter of fact, let me do a poll. How many people on here have started a business and they're busier? I want to see who's going to actually tell the truth. How many people on here have started a business and actually have more time? It doesn't work that way. Especially if you're trying to make more money. Because most people who start businesses can't afford to hire help. I have a trucking company. I have more freedom. See, so many people lie to themselves. So many people lie to themselves. If your business isn't passive, you don't have time. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Being a content creator, you always have to create content. Opening a restaurant, you have to cook or manage the cooks. He's lying. If he's driving trucks, he ain't got no time. This is what I'm telling y'all. The only way you can buy your time back is you have to buy cash flowing assets. There's no other way, ladies and gentlemen. People, and I'm saying people are lying for the fact that they're lying to you about how life really works. Let me tell you a story about a gentleman by the name of Tony Robbins. Okay? Let me tell you, for those who don't know who Tony Robbins is, he has a Netflix special called I Am Not Your Guru. And Tony Robbins talks about the dancing bear. And the dancing bear is somebody who has to always perform in order to make money. Someone who always, Tony Robbins said he was dancing 350 days out the year in order to make money. Because once you start making more money, you spend more money. But you have to spend the money to make more money. Where do you spend the money? You got to hire staff. Like you got to hire an assistant. You got to hire a videographer. You got to get better accountants. You got to get a better lawyer. You got to get a better marketing team. See, the reason some of y'all don't know this is because y'all don't put y'all money there. You get money and you spend it. So now you become the dancing bear. You got to make more chicken wings. You got to cut more grass. You got to cut more hair. You got to do more eyelashes. You got to sell more houses. You got to do more of this. You got to tap dance. You got to do all of these things to make more money. You become the dancing bear. So what did Tony Robbins do? He said, I need to learn how to leverage my time. Got to drive more drive. What up, crowd? So the reason I got into buying real estate, I see what he's saying. It has to be passive. The reason my brother, I had no time and no money. My brother was an investor, very hard. Now, first, we need to also define investor because a lot of people become investors and they do everything. See, we have to start learning how to build a company. See, having an LLC is different than a company. Somebody asked me, they said, Will, how do I know who to trust online? Pay attention to the language they use. Pay attention to the language they use. If they call a business an LLC, they're just trying to sell you on something. Not necessarily saying a program. They're trying to sell you into a system that may not be conducive to you. See, I'm trying to show you how they run a business. And in order to run a business, you have to pay for delegation. You have to pay for delegation. How do you pay for delegation? First of all, you got to know what you need. And most people don't know. We just go set up an LLC. Dang, King, you teaching. Queen, you already know. Hey, you owe me a call too, by the way, okay? We supposed to have been on a call. Most people don't pay for delegation because they don't understand how business works. It blows my mind. Everybody said they read Think and Grow Rich, but they missed the part in the book that talks about the difference between having a business and running a company. See, a lot of y'all have businesses, and that's why y'all don't have no time. See, I run a company. I remember I put up a post last week. I said, man, I'm bored. I need some friends with companies. Like, who want to come and hang out with me in Vegas? I'll even buy your flight. Who got some time to come hang with Will Roundtree in Vegas? I'll buy the flight. we can go play golf. We can go to Poppy Steak. Who want to come hang out in Vegas with me for it? I need some friends with companies because everybody is just buying. They just have LLCs. They just like, come on, like, and that's what I'm trying to teach people. And so when people ask me, how do you know who to trust? Just pay attention to the language they use. Somebody said explain. So the difference between a business and a company. See, a business, you have an LL. Matter of fact, I'll give you. So 80% of businesses, this is per the Federal Reserve. Per the Federal Reserve. 80% of businesses make less than $250,000 a year, with the median business revenue being $53,000 a year. So here's my question. And again, this might sting a little bit. How are you running a profitable business and paying your bills on $53,000 a year? You can't. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, to borrow from Sam, to pay Kevin back. It's impossible. See, when you just have a business, that light is beaming hard. Yeah, y'all see that forehead shine? See, when you just have a business, you have to do all of the implementation. So when you don't cut the grass, when you don't open that restaurant, when you don't open that barbershop, when you don't become the dancing bear selling courses, you don't make money. You can't afford to get sick. You can't afford to take off. You can't afford to retire. You can't afford to do anything outside of the things that you do. When you have a company, you delegate. So when people hit me up, I send them to my assistant. When people fill out an intake form, they go through and speak with my sales advisors. When I have a legal document, I send it to my attorney. When I have a tax thing, I send it to my CFO. My accountants pay my bills. My marketing team handles my social media. So it frees up my time for me to go and buy more real estate. For y'all who don't know what these are, anytime you see somebody with blue envelopes, these are tax bills. It frees up my time. And so we have to understand that the difference in a business and a company is that a company, you have to build people. A business, you're building yourself. But to have a company, you got to have the capital to be able to pay for delegation. That's the difference. But most people can't because the average median revenue for a business is $53,000. But until you have cash flow, you can't do any of that. That's partially true. You leverage credit to do that. You can leverage credit. Let me give you an example. So y'all not going to hear this from a lot of people. Let me give you an example. Because again, I make business decisions based off of math, not emotions. I don't make decisions off of emotions. So when people say, how do you know who to trust? I don't have an emotional tie to that person. So I pay them. If they don't deliver the result, I get my money back. Well, how do you do that, Will? You put it on a credit card. So let me break this down. This is business 101. They're not even going to teach you this at Harvard. Business 101. Let's say your delegation cost for a virtual assistant, a marketing person to run your ads. And yeah, that's all you really need. That's all you got to start off with. A virtual assistant and a marketing person. Okay? You only need those two people. All right? All right, I have a credit score over 700, but I make my money driving buses. What's my next move? Contact us so we can get you some funding. Send me a direct message. All right? So, you only need those two people. Virtual assistant and a marketing person. All right? And I actually have an outsourcing company where we help you find those two people. So if you need a virtual assistant and you need a marketing person, send me a direct message. I have an outsourcing team that can help you do that. Okay. So now let's say that cost you combined $2,000 a month. Now, some of you are sitting back and saying $2,000 a month. That means you don't know the value of your time. If $2,000 a month costs you too much, you do not know the value of your time. Okay? So let's say it costs you $2,000 a month to have a virtual assistant and a marketing person. Okay? And over the course of 12 months, that's going to cost you $24,000. Okay? $24,000. Somebody figure out, based upon a 22% interest annual percentage rate on a business credit card, and then you're going to divide that by 12, which is going to be 1.83%. Somebody tell me how much $24,000 times 1.83% is. Let me get my computer on. Somebody tell me what 24,000 times 1.83% is. Let me see if I can get mine up. Who can tell me what 24,000 times 1.83%? So 24,000 times 1.83% is 400, and let's just call it $450 a month. So it is going to cost you $450 per month to have a staff for your virtual assistant and to have someone handle your marketing. So now, based upon your business, if you really about that life, if you really know how to sell your product or service, if people actually like your product or service, to cover that cost, you only need to figure out how many things you need to sell to make $450 to cover that cost. Now you just bought some of your time back. So now you have more time being the visionary of your business. Will, do you help get funding with Shelf Corporation? Yeah, send me a direct message. We can help you. And you want to make sure that the Shelf Corp you bought didn't have an EIN number tied to it. If you did, if the Shelf Corp you bought has an EIN number, you wasted your money, family. I'm sorry. You wasted your money. So send me a direct message. Let's get you on the right path. See, once we start understanding mathematical equations, you remove the emotion. You remove the emotion. And this is what I teach people. This is why so many of you can't grow as a business owner or entrepreneur, because you have no time. So even if you have a 9 to 5, go get a virtual assistant. If you need a virtual assistant, I have an outsourcing company and we help you get a virtual assistant. If you got a 700 credit score, you need to be sending me a message so we can get you some funding tomorrow. It's too many of y'all on here with great credit, and y'all are just struggling in life. Not saying y'all are on here are struggling. When I say y'all, I'm speaking in general. It's too many people with great credit struggling. We need to fix that. I saw 740, 765. I need y'all to hit me up. Because here's the reality. I have an outsourcing company. I can get you a virtual assistant within the next week. Now you just bought your time back. Secondly, do you have a standard operating procedures? Meaning, when I hire somebody to come and work for me, whether it's a sales advisor, whether it's somebody on my processing team, whether it's somebody in customer service, Will Roundtree is not training them. I have standard operating procedures on video that does the work for them. Again, I bought that time back. Can you still help me? What's your problem? Okay. I need funding for my trucking company, but personal credit is not the best. Get your credit fixed. Hit me up so we can get your credit fixed. As a matter of fact, in my online community, we show you how to fix your credit for free. That's right. Somebody said, team, no more struggling. See, people struggle because they don't know. After today, y'all can no longer say that y'all. Somebody said, get the Chime Credit Builder. That'll take you forever to do, family. That'll take you forever to do. What is the best thing you would say to invest with only $1,000? You use that $1,000 to invest in education, and that education may be learning how to set up your LLC. Pay for the $20 a month for Chat GPT. But if you only got $1,000, you got to learn how to get more money to make more money. And make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I did an installment loan, paid it off, and that boosted my credit score like crazy. Yeah, but you got to also learn the other data points. You got to learn the other data points. I trust your company. Marshall fixed my credit. Now I'm ready to get business credit. Let's go. So going back to the infrastructure, I'm gonna get to the other data points in a minute. So going back to the infrastructure, I just showed you how to structure, how to leverage credit. So you're gonna have a credit line. It's gonna cost you a minimum. Let's just round it up to $25,000 for the year. So imagine running a business with help, and it only costs you $450 a month. Now, don't think about 25,000 because the 25,000 not even your money. You need to calculate how much it's going to cost you per month, not per year, because the money isn't coming out of your pocket, ladies and gentlemen. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's only $450. If you need a virtual assistant, if you need a marketing team, even if you need a bookkeeper, a lot of y'all taxes be jacked up because you don't take care of your books. So add a bookkeeper in there. Now you at $3,000. Let's see how much. Let's see how much $3,000 a month over 12 months, $36,000 a year is going to cost you per month to have an actual company. So you run in business like a boss, as opposed to like a poo putz. So it's going to cost you $670 a month to have an entire business. If you want a Rolex, buy real estate. My properties bought my Rolex, not Will Roundtree. Will Roundtree does not own this watch. My corporation do, not Will Roundtree. So imagine having a virtual assistant, having a marketing person, and a bookkeeper, and it's only going to cost you $670 a month. So if you really about that life, if you claim you standing on business and you're good at what you do, you should now have a company. I have a 700 credit score and a few business ideas. Where do I start? Graphic Glam. Send me a direct message so we can get you going. Wait, say that again. Do your company guy someone who just got an LLC setting up things proper? Absolutely, Turtle. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all my online community, my school community, and it's free for the first 7 days. Look, if you don't like it after 7 days, cancel. I could care less. I own enough real estate where my company will still get paid. Let me give y'all my school community. All right. Then I'm gonna get to the data points. What up, bro? Hold on. Let me get to the data points. Hold on. All right. So if you want to join my online community, it's free for the first 7 days. Go to school.com/full-time CEO. School.com/full-time CEO. You can join for free for the first 7 days. If you don't feel it's any value, cancel. That's going to be on you. All right. All right. Let me get to the data points here in a minute. Let me try to answer these questions. Shouldn't we get a C Corp first instead of getting a limited liability? That's a question you ask your tax professional. That's a person you ask your tax professional. There's no one particular entity that gets you more capital. Stop listening to these people on the internet who cross their legs really hard. Okay? It has nothing to do with the entity. Like people come on here and try to say the most prophetic thing. Like it's based on data points in your credit score and your business credit FICO SBSS score. It has nothing to do with your entity. I don't care how hard somebody crossed their legs. That doesn't mean anything. Okay. You said a bookkeeper, marketing team, and what else? So a virtual assistant, meaning someone who can respond to your emails, communicate with your client, because you should not be the one talking to all your clients. You should not be the one talking to all your clients. So you need a virtual assistant, a marketing person, meaning someone who can help you do your email blast, set up your go high level, set up your do all of that stuff, and then a bookkeeper. So it's gonna cost you. Let's just round up, say $700 a month. Don't think about the annual costs. Think about the monthly costs. That's why a lot of y'all get messed up business wise because you so focused on it's gonna cost me how much? You have to calculate your ROI in every dollar you invest in your business. So even when someone comes to us and get their credit fixed, I always tell people, okay, let's just say it cost you $2,000 to fix your credit. And a person is like, man, that's a lot. I say, compared to what? You have $50,000 worth of debt. The only way you can get rid of it is settling 80 cents on the dollar or waiting 7 years for it to fall off. Or you can go to one of the people who do a credit sweep, which they're going to tell you to say you were smex trafficking, and it's going to eventually come back on your credit. People, I'm telling y'all, people setting y'all up for failure in prison. Y'all better stop listening to these people. Did your great great grandparents have to do all of this on their land? My great grandparents worked very hard to keep their land, and I'm keeping the legacy going. Because out of 36, on my dad's side, it's 36 of us first cousins. I'm the only seven-figure earner. Out of 36 of, on my dad's side, I have 35 first cousins, and I'm the only seven-figure earner. I'm the only one that own buildings, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, 2 families, 3 families, 4 families, 8 units, and everything in between. But that's because I was willing to put in the work. I was willing to pay for delegation. I was willing to go through whatever I had to go through to learn what I had to learn to be here before you today. And I'm not talking theory. Y'all can pull my receipts. How old were you when you started real estate? 10 years ago. I'm 45, so 35 years old. I'll be 46 next month. I'll be 46 next month. I'm going to give you all the data points, but I need y'all to go to school.com/full time CEO. It's free for the first 7 days. And I give away money every month. At the end of this month, I'm giving away $500 in my school community. Next month, it goes up to 600. I'm increasing it by $100 every month. So by December, I'll be giving away $1,200. Last month, I gave away a television, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna give away money. I feel like giving away some money. So every month, I'm gonna give away a couple $100 inside my school community. You can't be on the feet on the trial though. You have to be a part of. Let me pin that. Thank you, K Major. You have to be a paid participant. Let you hold 50,000. I'll show you how to give 500,000. 50,000. That's you're gonna be looking at that like that's lightweight. Let me get y'all these data points. Let me get y'all these data points. All right, number one, and it's all simple stuff. It's all simple stuff. Number one, you got to build a fundable credit profile, personal credit. Let me tell you what that is. You got to have a 700 credit score. If you have a 700 credit score, send me a direct message right now and join my online school community. The school community is optional. But if you have a 700 credit score, you've already accomplished the hardest part. Everything else in between is time. If you have a 700 credit score, you've accomplished the hardest part. Congratulations. You are almost guaranteed to get at least 100,000 by the end of summer. Not 100,000 in it's not income. I'm going to show you how to make some money with it. And if you don't have a 700 yet, reach out to my team. Let's fix your credit. It might take you a year to fix your credit. It might take you 2 years. But so what? What about people struggling with any charge-offs? Fix it. It might take you 2 years. It took me 2 years to fix my credit, ladies and gentlemen. I show my credit. I show my old credit profile on my webinars all the time. I had a 560. I had charge-offs, repos. I had 75 credit inquiries. I had all that. It took me 2 years to fix my credit, but it was so worth it. Think about this. Your credit score is your winning lottery ticket that you're guaranteed to win. Your credit score is your winning parlay ticket that you are guaranteed to win. Guaranteed. Think about there's only two things in life you're guaranteed. Pay taxes and die. I'm going to add a third one. There's only three things that's guaranteed to happen in life. Pay taxes, die, and learn how to make money when you have good credit. Those are only three things that are guaranteed. Think about that. As long as you have good credit, you should never be poor, ever. So what is a fundable business a fundable credit profile? You need to have 700 credit score. You got to clean up your inquiries. That credit inquiry ebook they sell y'all on the internet, it only works for closed accounts. We know how to dispute them on open accounts. We're probably one of the only companies in North America that knows how to dispute inquiries on open accounts. And here's the reality. I even allow y'all to use Klarna for any product and service that I offer. So instead of y'all using Klarna to buy concert tickets and burritos and Fashion Nova clothes, use your Klarna to get your inquiries and your credit cleaned up. Why wait till August? Honey bun, get funded today. Stop waiting till August. Now, if you only have a honey bun, send us a message. You need to get some funding today. Stop. Don't wait till August. What about bankruptcies? Clean it up, K Major. Reach out to us. Let's get it cleaned up. I'm trying to get more credit cards with Chase. Chase has a threshold, honey bun. You need to join my community so you can learn how to get around that threshold. Do you offer afterpay? No, but we offer Klarna 524 rule. We know how to work around the 524 rule, honey bun. I have a direct underwriter there. A lot of people say that. I actually do. I actually do. No, we use Klarna, Zip, and yeah, I think we do use afterpay. Yeah, we do. We do. We do. We do. We do. We do. So you can finance all our products through Klarna, Zip, and Afterpay. All right, so clean up your credit, inquiries, credit repair. Reach out to us if you need that done. Okay. Number two, set up a proper business infrastructure. I don't care if it's an LLC. How do I contact you for credit repair? Send me a direct message. Send me a direct message. Butterfly, we got you. Send me a direct message or see the link in my bio. Uh, Set up a proper business infrastructure. Let me tell you all a secret. If you do not have a registered agent, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you do not have a registered agent, you are doing yourself a disservice. I have a team that's a registered agent company. They've been in business for over 25 years. They charge $100 a year to be your registered agent. They charge $100 a year to be your registered agent. Get a registered agent. Let me tell you why. Because they're going to ensure you have your bylaws if you have a corporation, and they're going to make sure you have your operating agreement if you have an LLC. If you need a nonprofit, they do all of this for you. Why are y'all out there trying to figure everything out? This is people's problem. Let me read the definition of problem again. A matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. A lot of y'all are trying to overcome, trying to get to the next level because you're trying to figure it out. No, get professionals that know what they're doing. Stop being cheap. And none of this comes through me. I just give y'all the resources. Wow, I need to change my registered agent. Send me a message, Emma. Send me a message. I'll give you my registered agent. They've been in business for over 25 years. So, step number two, again, I'm giving y'all 5 data points to guarantee to get you $250,000 in funding. Here is how uh, 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 um, here's how confident I am of getting you funded. Our initial fee that we charge up front, if we don't get you a certain threshold, we give you your money back. That is how confident we are. Because if we don't think we can help you, we don't even take your money. Now you have to be in position. But if you are in position and we said like I just had a client, I have a client by the name of Bill Stocker. If you're in my school community, you'll see his post. Bill Stocker has been in business 15 years and has never gotten approval more than probably $5,000 to $7,000. What can the $20 a month ChatGPT do that the free can't do? Go Google with ChatGPT. I don't own ChatGPT. I don't know. I'm just telling you that you can level up, learn how to see. Because as an entrepreneur, you got to learn how to invest. Stop wanting everything for free. Okay. If the free one works for you, keep it. Bill Stocker. When you join my online school community, you'll see his info in there. Okay. Bill Stocker has never gotten approval more than to more than seven, probably $7,000. And so when he invested to work with me to get him funded, I said, Bill, if we don't get you your approval, I will give you 3 times the amount you invested back. 3 times. He said, Will, put it in writing. We got him $230,000 from one bank. It's in my school community. I posted it on my. We got him 230,000 from one bank. His mind was blown away. He's been in business 15 years. He said, Will, how is this possible? I want to share a secret with all of you who are on here. Most of you all know more than most people. Even though you may not be in position, oh, thank y'all for the gifts on TikTok. Even though you may not be in position, even though you may not have the funding, most of you know more than the average person. This is why only 7.1% of people own real estate investment properties, because most people don't even know how to invest in real estate. We got Bill 230,000 from one bank. He said, Will, I'm going to send you every single client I have. I didn't even think this was possible. Infrastructure. Number 3. This one is probably one that most of you are not familiar with. Number 3. This one is actually a cheat code. This one is a cheat code. Number 3. Adding business credit trade lines to your business. Now, a lot of you may or may not know. Trade line Ron, what's up? Yes, this is me. And I'm actually about to talk about business credit trade lines. Now, number 3. Here's why a lot of y'all are going out there getting net 30 accounts. You wasting your money. Answer me this. Why would a bank give you $100,000 for ordering some ink pens? Why would a bank give you $50,000 for ordering tissue, garbage bags, and gloves, and the most you've spent was $75? Banks only give you credit when they see you have credit. And so uh, 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 one of the biggest cheat codes. This is why I can have a book of credit cards with over $2 million in it, because I use business credit trade lines for myself and my clients. Now, imagine walking into Chase. Imagine walking into US Bank. Imagine walking into whatever credit card company you want to go to, and you have 50 to 200,000 reporting on Experian. Imagine walking into the bank and having 80,000 to 275,000 reporting on your Equifax business. And the only place you can't Google business credit trade lines. You have to come through people like myself who's been doing this for over 15 years. And the only people who have access to this typically has been in business for over 10 years. And my good friend Ron, who's one of the top underwriters in the country when it comes to credit, he doesn't even work with everybody. If you are not a real player who does real business, he won't even take your phone call. And so people always say, Will, how do you get the results that so many other people don't get? Because here's the thing that people are selling y'all on business credit. They're selling you on Wex. They selling you on Capital on Tap. They selling you on Home Depot. They selling you on Staples. No, I'm selling you on how to get $50,000 credit card approval from Chase at 0% interest. I'm selling you on how to get in a business line of credit for $100,000. I show you how to actually get cash value credit cards. Everybody type in the chat cash value. because all of these other fake gurus are selling y'all on fintech banks, net 30 banks, and banks that do not have cash value. So, yes, so when they tell you, oh, let me show you how to get credit with having bad credit, it doesn't work, ladies and gentlemen. If your personal credit is not intact and you do not have business credit trade lines, you will continue to get $7,000 from Chase, and y'all can keep running to Navy Federal getting 25,000, and that's where you're going to max out at if you do not have business credit trade lines. And yes, there is an investment for that. I add bank loans to your business credit profile. Let me tell y'all something. 90% of banks look at your FICO SBSS score. 90% of banks will pull your Experian business credit report. 90% of banks will pull your SBFE, which is tied to Equifax. I've never saw a bank credit card application say, "What is your DUNS number?" Hey, I will cash app somebody a Benjamin right now. If you can screenshot me a credit card application that asks for your DUNS number, I'll send you $100 right now on Cash App. If you can show me that. They can't, because they don't. Just got in from work, got to get prepared for bed. However, good listening to you. Keep in touch. Absolutely, stay in touch. Matter of fact, I'm going to double it for them, Ron. I will give somebody $200 on Cash App tonight. You can go get a steak from STK's. The Del Monaco steak at STK's in Las Vegas is $115. You can go get a steak if you can show me on a credit card application. Thank you, Morpheus. Where they ask for your DUNS number. They don't. So why do y'all keep trying to run up and get net 30 cards, get your DUNS number, and et cetera, et cetera? It doesn't exist. If you do not have a business bank loan credit trade lines on your companies, you will not get the type of capital that you think you're about to get. Y'all can keep running and getting non-cash value. Everybody type in the chat non-cash value cards. How hard is it to get a real estate license? I don't know. I don't have a real estate license, and I don't care to have one. I'm an investor. You don't need a license to buy to be an investor. Everybody, what up, Coach? Queen Amber, what's up with you? Non-cash value are cards where you can't liquidate them. So why are y'all trying to get $100,000 in non-cash value cards just to say, "Oh, I got card, I got 100,000 with Staples." It's not going to help you out. You just want to post your Staples approval. You want 100,000 at Macy's. Look, y'all just heard all of the clothes is fake anyway. You don't even need 100,000 for Macy's. Will got me 125K and 100,000 on a B lot cash, and now I can shop for real estate. Appreciate that, Mr. B623. Hey, is that you, Brandon? Yeah, shout out to, if that's Brandon, shout out to my client Brandon. We just got him approved for 125K from one bank. One bank, ladies and gentlemen. He said, "Will, man, run it up." I said, "Brandon, I got you. I'm about to we listen. I don't teach people how to get gas cards. Why? Because you don't need a gas card. What you want a gas card for?" Yeah, that's Brian on Instagram. What's up, B? Yeah, I got him 125K last week. Brian didn't even think it was possible. Brian asked me 10,000 questions. And I said, "Brian, just follow my instructions." And he hit me back and was like, "Yo, one bank 100K?" Let me tell y'all, a lot of people not doing, and this is a line of credit, which means he can walk in the bank and pull $100,000 cash out. Ron said got him 260K. Look, I'm telling y'all, I could stop just that business credit trade line. I don't even got to give y'all the other underwriting, the other data points. If all you did was got a 700 credit score, set up your business right, got a shelf corp, and added the business credit trade. So let me show y'all basic math, and then I'm about to wrap up. Let me just give y'all an understanding how ROI works. Okay, this live has me feeling like a lot of things I've heard about business funding is misleading. Swift Sloan, most of the things you hear on the internet about business credit is misleading. Most of it, because most of them been trying to use my jargon and lingo, but they don't have the relationships I have. I tell people, I'll give you your money back if I can't get you the funding. It's too many people in the chats who's already told you that they've gotten funded. Okay, so let me tell y'all something. Okay, here's what I need y'all to understand. Okay, stop thinking about what you don't have. See, here's something that blows me away. We all talk about manifestation. Everybody has seen The Secret and read The Secret, but everybody is manifesting failure. How do they do that? Because they think about all of the things that they don't have. Oh, I don't have the money. I got bad credit. This business gonna fail. I don't know who to trust. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It's gonna cost me this. This is why your life is in disarray. And when I say you, I'm not talking about people on the chat. But the reason so many people are having problems financially because they manifest everything that they don't have, or they continue to manifest not having nothing because they think about what they don't have. So tell you how ROI works. Okay, let's just say to set up everything properly, it cost you $20,000, and I'm talking about from ground zero. And I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's just say it cost you $20,000 to set up everything the right way from ground zero. Okay. If $20,000 put you in position to get infinite money and you still don't see the value, you deserve to be poor. Let me say that again. If $20,000 is something that you scoff at, you deserve to be poor. Why? Because a lot, and when again, I'm not saying you all on here particularly. I'm saying you as a whole, as people. Because these are the same people who say they want a 100-unit apartment building. These are the same people who say they want $1 million business. These are the same people who say they want to make six figures in a month, six figures a year. They want to drive the Maybachs, the G-Wagons, the road. These are the same people who want to have a soft life. These are the same people who say they want time freedom. These are the same people who say they want to leave corporate America. These are the same people who say they want to retire their wife, retire their husband, put their kids in private school. These are the but to know for a fact, guaranteed, that if your minimum investment all in was 20,000 to give you infinite access to capital to go out there and buy real estate, buy businesses, start businesses, grow your business, that's the ROI that you should be focused on. And with that being said, even if it was half of that at 10,000, imagine being able to use our services where we can finance it, do a payment plan, break it down into monthly payments, and you get in position to where you can be like Brian and get 125,000, be like Ron and get 260,000, be like Bill Stocker who got 230,000, be like Brian Shaw who got 100. Brian Shaw called me damn near in tears because we got him 125,000 from one bank, and he had been trying on his own for a year, almost 2 years. And when he finally made the right investments to get access to the proper information, the proper relationships, the proper structure, one bank we got him 125,000. Brian was in tears. Why? Because he kept trying to figure it out on his own, and it actually cost him more money than what he invested. So here's what I'm going to leave you all with. Instead of worrying about how much it costs, ask yourself, everybody asking how much it costs, send me a direct message, because everybody's situation is different. Here's the question I want you all to ask yourself. And if you don't want to participate in this question, that's on you. You can keep the same life you've been having. Your wife and girlfriend looking at you crazy. Your husband or boyfriend looking. Your kids are looking at you crazy because you keep making mistakes, putting them behind. Here's the question I want to ask you all as we wrap up. How much has it cost you not having the right information? How much has it cost you of you trying to figure it out? How many people have you continuously paid and they haven't even given you a smidget? And I know that's not a word. I don't care. How many people have you paid and they keep trying to sell you on net 30 accounts? You've already paid for what I can help you to accomplish 5 times, and you still haven't got the desired result or the proper blueprint. For everybody on YouTube, send me an email. I'm gonna give you all my direct email, and we can get you a call booked. Like I say, we offer Klarna, Afterpay, and Zip. We imagine being able to use credit to buy our services to get more credit. Because at the end of the day, if we can't help you, I won't take your money. My team won't take your money if we can't help you. Yeah, it may take you a year. So what? It may take you 2 years. So what? You've been in this predicament for 20. Get the blueprint. So even if the investment was $10,000, but it positions you to get access to infinite capital. And if you don't see that value, you deserve to be poor. Because at the end of the day, how much did it cost you not being in position? Don't think about how much it cost you this year. Think about over the past 7 years you've been trying to change your life financially. Think about how long you've been trying to get into real estate. Think about on the real estate deals you've missed out on. Think about on the JV opportunities you've missed out on. Think about on the business opportunities you could have invested in you missed out on. It's probably cost the average person on this live right now at least $500,000 in missed opportunities because you were not in position. Let me read y'all something real quick. Let me read y'all something real quick. I'm going to read y'all the definition of the word faith. Let me read y'all the definition of the word faith. Because a lot of y'all claim y'all believe in a higher power, but I'm about to prove y'all wrong. The definition of the word faith. I don't even need to finish the other 5 data points, Swift Sloan. Because all you got to do is get your credit to 700, set up your business infrastructure, and get business credit trade lines. The other two was apply for the right banks and learn the cost of money. But those two are irrelevant if you don't do the top three. All right, let me read you the definition of the word faith, because a lot of y'all claim that y'all have this. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. See, when you stay stuck in your circumstance, it's because you don't have faith in you. When you say, I don't know who to trust, that's a cop out. I'm going to tell you why. Because when you deal with a real business, per the agreement they give you or that they should give you, if they don't deliver, you can charge it back and get your money back, ladies and gentlemen. But y'all want to do business with people who send you Cash App requests, Zelle requests. You don't need to have, you don't need to believe in somebody. You need to believe in you. And then let the procedures do the rest. How could you wake up every day, say you believe in a higher power, say you believe in your creator, say you believe in you, and you have zero confidence in your own abilities to make things go right in your life? Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Will, why do you think so many people struggle in life? And I said, because there's zero accountability that people have to adhere to. And they said, why do you say that? Because a person can go through life and not have to want for anything. You can just exist and be okay. Unless you're forced to change your circumstance, most people will never change their circumstance. They will go through life sleeping on people's couch. They will go through life borrowing money, never paying back. They will go through life blaming the next man, blaming white people, blaming the Hispanics, blaming the government, blaming the president. There's zero accountability for your life. That's why people can continue to go through life and be okay. But let me tell you what happens when you hang around me. You're going to get exposed. Meaning, not your dirty laundry. I could care less. I don't gossip. But you're going to get exposed because I'm going to force you to be great to be around me. I'm going to force excellence out of you if you want to hang around me. I'm going to force you to improve your credit. I'm going to force you to take care of your family. I'm going to force you to want to do better for your wife or your girlfriend or your boo. The reason a lot of y'all fellas be having women problems because they see you keep making failed mistakes financially. You calling yourself a man, but you have zero integrity of what it takes to be a man financially. This is why people keep arguing about 50-50 dates. This is why people get upset when money is brought up because there's zero accountability of you being a human. So I get passionate when people tell me they have faith or they believe in their creator, but then they have zero faith in their own abilities because the God is within you. So how is it that you could wake up every day, pray, do all of these things, but then you give up on all of the goals and dreams and aspirations of all of the things you used to want to do when you was a kid? All of the posters of the cars and the houses and the lifestyle, the dream you sold to the woman you laying next to and sleeping with. That's why she on your back, bro. Because you keep lying to her every December 31st. That's why your kids have an attitude. Because you keep lying to them. You've been telling them you was gonna take them to Disney for the past 8 years, and they done seen you squander money in the clubs on parlays and Jordans. So stop saying you believe in something when you don't even have faith in yourself. In the great words of my brother and good friend Willie D, No more talk. Let's go execute. I need y'all to go to my online school community. It's free for the first 7 days. You can cancel. It doesn't matter. But once you get in there, you're not gonna want to leave. I'm giving away $500 at the end of the month, but you got to be enrolled in my school community, and you can only win money by being outside of the you can't be on a free trial if you want to get access. And then every month I'm going to increase it by $100. So for May I'm giving away $500. For July I'm giving away $600. For August I'm giving away $700. I'm going to increase it every single month. Can I DM you? Yes, send me a DM. Bro, we could not read what was on that white paper. My bad. School.com/full-time CEO. You can go here, join my free online community for free for the first 7 days. Once you get in, you're not going to want to leave. I promise you. There's so much information in there. With people charging y'all 25,000 for it, it's in there for $49 a month. How much is it a month after the trial? $49. What it teach? Go to the site. You can see. Just go to the site. Come on, y'all gotta put in some work. Y'all gotta do a little something, something. So I appreciate y'all. I think I'm gonna keep going live on TikTok more often. TikTok family, look, y'all been showing a lot of love, so I appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna keep going on. What time zone are you on? I'm on West Coast time. I'm in Las Vegas. As y'all can see, I have a lot of energy. This for people who don't know me personally, this is like my normal palette. Like I get more energy at night. I don't know. They say I'm like a vampire or something. But I get up early though. I get up early. I go to the gym around 9 o'clock. Go get with my trainer. Come home. Usually have lunch around noon. Get some work done, and then like a lot of times I'll be looking for stuff to do. So I go look at real estate. Something like I don't even really be showing y'all everything. Like I just hop. Sometimes I hop a random flight and go have lunch in another city and come back. But I use that so I can write it off on my taxes, and I never lived in Atlanta. I used to just be out there every week. I'm actually be in Atlanta this weekend. You familiar with Red Rock? Absolutely. I'm very familiar with Red Rock and Summerlin. So yeah, sometimes I just be like, let me go to LA for lunch. Let me go to Houston for lunch. Let me go to Wyoming for lunch. Let me go to Denver for dinner. A lot of times I just hop a flight, and I'm building up my inner circle. Every quarter I'm gonna bring my inner circle to Las Vegas. We're gonna have a good time. My last inner circle event, I took them to Poppy Steak. We got the suitcase steak. For y'all who don't know, that's the big tomahawk. That's $1,000, and they bring the flashing light. Like I brought my inner circle there. We had a very intimate dinner, intimate mastermind session. So that's part of my inner circle. I'm interested in real estate. Supposed to start a class for it this Saturday. Yeah, just know what you want to do when it comes to real estate, because it's a lot. What's the site again? I actually pinned it. School.com/full-time CEO. All right, let me answer some of y'all questions. Age limit for the inner circle. I mean, it's kind of an age because of the investment. But if you 15 and you live in Vegas, I will let you come to the inner circle, family. You told me you 15. How could I turn that away? How much for the one-on-one mentorship? Send me a direct message. I'm gonna tell y'all my inner circle is not cheap, because I only want people who are gonna stick. If it was $300, you wouldn't show up. So I only want to work with people who's serious. And again, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so I gotta make it, because you pay for my time and my resources. Like, here's one of my resources. I'm gonna give y'all one of my resources. One of my resources is one of the top real estate investors who do sub two deals, where we have a bank partner who uses capital from an Indian tribe, where the money that they loan to you is not documented nowhere on your personal or business credit. These are the type of resources we have. But that's for my inner circle. That's for my inner circle. I'm expecting to pay like 5K. You won't make it in my inner circle for 5K. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Look, here's something I learned in let's see. But I want direct access. 5K won't even get you my personal phone number, family. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because my time is valuable. My time is valuable. So yeah, you got to get your bread up. And I can help you do that. That's the thing, you know? Cuz I want y'all to understand, like, I in my inner circle, I'm going to teach you how to make that money back. In my inner circle, I'm going to teach you how to build out a funding company using AI. In my inner circle, I'm going to teach you how to make money. My inner circle isn't just us holding hands and saying kumbaya and me motivating you. No, you're going to work. My inner circle, we're going to get you some bread. Like, anybody who's been around me, their life has drastically changed. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, this might be TMI, but somebody said, Will, what position would you like me to be in? I said, for you to win. I put people in position to win. And unfortunately, winners are the minorities on the planet. Y'all know my track record. There's never been one person who was in my inner circle who has not made at least $250,000 to $500,000 a year. Not one. Ever. So that's why if you want to be in my inner circle, yeah, it's a ticket. Because my resources are worth that alone. Period. I feel like one of them people on TikTok who just sit there and stare at y'all. Hey, how do people do that? Like, I be seeing people on TikTok. I said I want to try that one day. I see people on TikTok who just sit there and they be eating their popcorn and cutting up their pasta and all of that stuff, and they just be sitting there looking at y'all, and people be on there looking back at them. I'm gonna try that one of these days, but I'm gonna make sure I'm somewhere aesthetically pleasing. They might be slow reader. No, King PX. No, they're not reading. They are literally sitting there watching people eat. It's like people just be sitting on their couch playing music, watching people. You be busy in the day. No, just send me a direct message, family. We got a 15-year-old on here, so I'm gonna mentor him. But you gotta show up though. You're gonna have to show the value of why I should mentor you. 15-year-old. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to work for it. But I promise you, your life will be completely different by the time you're 18. If you're really serious. They're remote cybersecurity. So when they watching people, they remote cybersecurity. He just need a little skin in the game. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you, people who I mentor. I don't know if Daniel's still on here. Daniel started out as my mentor, and he'll tell you, you can't just come around me thinking like it's all Starbursts and Skittles, and we have a good. No, you work around me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the real life looks like. It's work. You know what I mean? I'm planning starting a social media setup and management. I already got 5 clients, 150K a month. That's what's up. Good stuff, man. CEO stack. Change your profile pic, fam. First impression is everything, little bro. Absolutely. Get them right. Get them right. Because that was going to be one of the first things I told them. If you want to work with me, you got to have a profile picture. I don't know you. And hopefully you don't have any pictures with your middle finger sticking up. I don't do business with people like that. People who got pictures with their middle finger sticking up on their page, I don't do pictures with. Unless you're a rapper or entertainer, you should not have a bunch. You should, especially if you over 40, you should not have pictures with your middle finger sticking up. You just shouldn't. You should not have pictures with your middle finger sticking up. All right. Any last questions as we wrap up? This was a good live. It's like 4 a.m. on the East Coast. 150, not 150,000. That's all right, King PX. Look, you moved the needle. It's not easy to get clients. So if it's $150 or 150K, you still you got somebody that trusts you and paid you. But if you join my inner circle, I can help you to get that up. So, and we offer financing for the inner circle, ladies and gentlemen. We offer financing. Again, y'all stop looking at the cost. Look at the ROI. Because how you gonna buy an apartment building for my people who want to invest in real estate? How you gonna put up $250,000 and you don't even want to put up what it take for you to get to the $250,000? Need direct email. My direct email is Will WIL. Let me write it down. My battery is actually about to die, so let me write this down real quick. Because on TikTok I can't put it in there. So for TikTok, my email is will at wemanagementservices.com. Will at wemanagementservices.com. When are you going to start getting properties in Africa if you want to respond? I actually, one of my business partners is already working on that with me. I do a lot of JV real estate deals. I do a lot of JV real estate deals. Will at wemanagementservices.com. That is my direct email. That is my direct email. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on live tomorrow. If y'all want me to go on live tomorrow, send me a direct message. Let me know what you want me to talk about. But other than that, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all at the top. Let's go.